Hey there everybody, Ninpalk here. Um, First things first, make sure to have small fry, make sure that spot's painted, and make sure that kettle is open so you can warp to it, and whenever you die, you'll spawn in that spot if you mess this up, because this is a difficult trick. Second thing of all, we have to kind of just be barely on this little red part, this like red arrow. I'm a little too far left there. So you want to kind of like just barely get on it. Doesn't really matter too much, just don't be on it too much. And basically what we're going to do is there's going to be a click in the first small fry hit. And then after the first small fry hit, we hold forward, and then shortly after we'll hold right and jump and try to land on a small spot. So I'm just going to try to do it quietly here. Didn't get the squid roll in time, partially because I didn't flick it quick enough. And you just, in that case, you just wait for this to come back. Get small fry back. Throw it, click. It's kind of hard to do it when talking, but you know, it's a really, really difficult trick. And that's why it's hard to do something like a tutorial here, because a lot of things can go wrong for how precise it is. But basically, get on this little spot, make sure small fry's with you with a D-pad, and then pretty much just land there. That's the hard part. And then kind of just, you want to kind of hold up slightly before you, like kind of right when you jump, but I did it like jump slightly early, so I didn't make the jump. But you could easily make that jump if you just time it right. It's just, you know, nerves make it much harder to land that. And the hard thing is like, the hardest part is landing on that spot. The second hardest part is probably just getting the squid roll. The third part is just getting on that spot, which isn't really hard. It's just the nerves that mess it up, because you don't really have a lot of room to move in this spot. So the general idea is, you know, we'll have that spot painted so that we can just land on it, and you can take all the time you need to reposition yourself so that you can, once you're on that spot, as long as you don't move, you won't die. But the thing is, you have to make that jump to the last spot to get to site 6. So the main thing is just once we get this, see there's that first click, that's when I start holding up. Go a little farther left. That should be good, maybe. I'll hold fully down on the camera because it just makes it easier for me to keep an eye on where I am, in my opinion. And click. It's kind of hard to do it when explaining it, because like the click is basically, you know, after the click is when you hold up, so saying it and doing it is a little tough. But you know what I mean, right? Like I'll once I get it again, I do have some videos of it already, but like kind of explain it. Okay, so like that, and then you just go into the area. You can get the small fry in if you want. In previous patches, there would be glitches where he would sometimes come in. So here I'm going to show a couple versions of me doing this. This is the one you just saw. So like, you know, I was here. Was this the? Like, this is the actual attempt. So like, you be here, just kind of get on the red arrow a little bit, just position yourself correctly. And I'll pause this. Whoops, that was the B button. So you notice I unsquid, throw that, there's a click, then I go up. Then as this is going, I'm about to hold right and jump. Notice I kind of stopped for a second so I could land in this spot. That sometimes you got to reposition yourself. You know, so this is another video of me. So I wait for this. This might be a failed attempt, actually. Like maybe I might have. Yeah. So like sometimes you might not get the distance if you do it too early, but sometimes you might get too much distance. This one would work, and then I just kind of turn around, make the jump. Then one more. Let's go a little forward. So like you want to be like, you know, just barely on this where the red arrow is. Get small fry to be back. Kind of do it on the edge of the thing, basically, and then you get the jump. And then you just got to make the jump to here. And that's pretty much the trick. If you want to practice it, just, you know, go back here. You always want to make sure this castle's open. You always want to make sure that spots there. The main things that I would give a tip for is I try to be positioned right, like here. Make sure small fry's here. And I'll try to pause to show this. Like, this is when I'm holding up. Right, I hold up like, well, actually I held up before that. I'm gonna try to pause when I'm holding up. But, you know, basically holding up's after the first click. So, so like you're basically holding up right before the thing goes up, and then you just do the jump. It's kind of hard to do it with. The only thing that you might want to like, the main thing is you're holding up right before the geyser goes up, basically. So it's like up, right, jump, which I did the right jump a little late because I didn't do the jump. You want to jump pretty much on the edge of the geyser, pretty much, which is what makes it kind of tough. And, you know, it's a tough trick, and it'll take a while to get down, so don't be discouraged. It's probably the toughest trick in the run. So if you can get past this part, you probably can get past anything in the run. There is other skips, but shoutouts to Owen for finding this. You land here, and it's kind of hard to jump. You just want to jump to this right here, this little ledge here. Because if you try to jump to this, you'll probably die, because there's a little sticking out a little bit more there. But yeah, that's Owen's skip. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. It's a really tough trick, and, you know, obviously on this file I have more than enough eggs to test this, but, you know, the point of the skip is to skip the 3,000 eggs that you would need to get this in an 80% run. And yeah, so it's a little, it's not the most consistent thing in the world, but with enough practice you can get good enough to pull it off in runs enough. I mean, it's definitely a run killer for sure, like any tough speed run would have. But, you know, getting onto that spot is the hardest spot, and then just not getting nervous and just jumping at the right spot. So, I mean, like I said, just practice, and the main things before I end this tutorial, main things, one, be like right here, and make sure small fry is with you so you don't accidentally press it without it. And then pretty much after, you know, it's just pretty much timing the squid roll and adjusting to land on that small corner is really all the things you need to know about this trick. Is just this. First of all, also you want to ink that, of course. It's a little tough to ink sometimes. Sometimes you want to do it from farther back, like. That would do it, but I died there, of course. You know, just kind of ink from further back before you do the trick so you can land on it, and just wait yourself so that you don't have to, like, do anything. That time, I did it way too early, so obviously I went straight into that. But if you're, generally, if you wait for the first click to go forward, so, like, this, you'll generally never be, like, too low to die to that spot. But if you do it too early, you'll probably, like, you know, like, it's not easy. I'll give it that much. You can see I've, like, messed this up a lot. And it's not like I'm a master at this trick, but this trick is one of those tricks that, like, it has a setup. And you just kind of want to, like, have the setup so that you can just kind of, like, see, like, I held back there because I knew I was too far. You just gotta get a lot of the tricks in Splatoon 3 you just gotta get a feel for. And really, it is, a lot of the tricks are not easy because most of the tricks involve squid rolls or squid surge for newer tricks. So yeah, this trick, although it has a setup, the hardest part obviously is landing on that. Like I said, second hardest part is getting the squid roll, which is just timing it, because you have to manage how much height you have to know if you should not hold forward anymore or anything like that. Like, I'm gonna stop right. Yeah, I probably stopped too early. The main thing is getting a feel for the trick. I know this tutorial's been going on kind of long for, like, how much you kind of get it, but you know, I'm gonna pretty much wrap things up here. But I want to see if I can get it one more time, because this trick isn't easy, like I said. Just want to reiterate that, because it's a very tough trick. Probably the toughest in the run. Who knows at the rate of stuff we're finding in this game. And another thing I want to point out is if for some reason, I highly doubt it, but considering pause abuse got patched, if this trick gets patched or something, I'll put something in the title saying it, like, as long as it says, it doesn't say, like, not working, like, or patched or anything like that in the title. then it should still be working, obviously. So this trick is I'm doing this on 1.2.0, which they obviously will have a lot more patches. It's Splatoon, but unless there's a patch in the title, this trick will remain working. And as long as that little spot's there, I'm pretty sure and as long as geyser boosts still work, it should still work in that case. And the main thing is, you know, practice makes perfect. Obviously, I haven't practiced this as much as some people, but I still feel like with the setup I have, if you just know when to adjust, which I don't, I'll be honest, I don't perfectly know the spots to adjust, like, perfectly. I don't know it, like, completely. So, you know, just start there and just try to land. It's not easy. I'll say that over and over again, because this is the hardest trick in the run, and it is it may be discouraging to learn, but just keep on going and eventually you'll persevere. Just keep in mind it's very precise. There's, like, the last jump isn't the most precise thing. You can kind of get it with less speed, but the first jump, just landing onto that spot, is the hard part. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else to explain with this trick. Honestly, other than inking that spot, having that kettle open, and being here, it's pretty much just like that. Like, sometimes you won't get far enough if you're, depending on your positioning. And not really positioning, but when you get the jump. So it's really about getting a timing for the jump that you can feel for. Like there, I jumped too early, so I didn't get enough height to get to there, even though I was holding right the whole time. So the main thing is, I think what I'm doing here is I'm not delaying my jump enough. So that, I knew I was too far. You want to delay your jump so that either you can adjust to land on it, or you can, you basically don't want to get the jump too early is the main thing. It's hard to see where you're going to land until the end unless you're super high. So honestly, the higher you get, the better if you know when to adjust. That's really, yeah, like, I apologize for rambling. I just, you know, this trick, as you can see, the spot is really, really small. Like, it's like you can land on it, like, enough to be consistent for runs, but no promise this won't kill your runs. But yeah, that's Owen skip, just 3K Ooze skip, and hope this helped. I apologize for rambling a lot. I just wanted to show, like, the struggle of getting that trick can be tough sometimes. And you're not alone if you're struggling with this. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.